Hey everyone, and welcome to day 25 of Lenormarch. This is when things get exciting because we're starting to form some spreads. Today is a 3-card spread. You choose a significator, you ask your question, like the question is framed around that significator, and pick the cards that sit each side of it after you have a good old shuffle. The question that I chose is regarding long distance travel. I asked, if I travel to the USA this year, what is the most likely outcome? Like, what's the energy that surrounds that concept at this time? I love long distance travel. And right now I am in a 5 personal year for those of you that know numerology. So it's a wonderful year to travel. Things just seem to fall into place when you travel in a 5 year. And not only that, it is my birth path number. So it is like medicine to my soul. I feel it's travel, not a vacation. There's such a difference to me in the energy behind it. I drew 3 cards and the ship is my significator, and this is what presented itself to me. I was thrilled, to say the least. I'm loving what I see here. The key says, aha, we're unlocking the door to this situation. It brings answers. It says, oh, this is a little unexpected twist of fate, and it's a good one. It says, yes, thumbs up. It smells of success to me, and ironically the fish has a similar flavour in that area of success. If I was only allowed to give, a 3 to 5 word answer, it'd be yes, go, all good. If I look a little bit further into it, just to make sure I've covered all my bases, I would say that if I look at the key and the ship, I get this feeling of destiny. It's like it's destined to happen, which is good for me to hear, because I look at that as, you know what, it's going to happen when it's meant to happen. It'll fall into place. There are no obvious blocks. Therefore, again, I feel like it's looking very, very good. I'm sorry about my unsteady hands. I'm trying to do this freehand. I don't know why I do this to myself. On top of that, when we look at the ship and the fish, I get the feeling that it could be a business trip. I'm not designing this trip to be a business trip per se. However, I have found myself saying to friends, I'd love to be able to go over and do some work in the US. If I could do some healing somewhere or some reads somewhere, I would love it. And it's almost like, for me, with the key and the fish, both of them can pertain to some sort of business trip, or the reason you go, it's going to be successful, or it's destined to happen, or it's a spiritual, by default, it ends up being this kind of spiritual journey. Anyway, all in all, I think it's looking very positive. Just to be the devil's advocate, I don't know whether it's saying to me, just make sure, like the key is, make sure you have enough money, or the key saying it's okay, you will have enough money. And I do have enough money, but I certainly wouldn't be spendthrift. I'm very careful with my money, and considering we lose 1/3 of the value now with the Australian dollar dropping so low, I do have to consider money. I have to make sure I stay on budget. And that's when sometimes I go, okay, I'm not sure which one it's saying, but if I had to choose one, I'd go with the positive because of these 3 cards combining, looking very good. Wow, I'm having a time of it today. I'm getting a croaky throat, so I'm sorry for all the pauses, but I just don't want you to have to endure me with a croaky voice. And I'm not holding the camera very steady. So look, so far this has been a huge success. Anyhow, I thought, look, the day is going to go on. I've got to do this now, and that is the way it is. I'm being determined. Now, I just thought I'd share something with you. So I'm happy with these cards. Yay, looking good. But that was 3 days ago, and due to life getting in the way, I didn't end up filming it. I drew the cards and then I was going to start filming straight away. As an experiment, I decided to draw 3 more cards today and ask the same question more or less. I just wanted to see what happened. So I said, if I travel to the USA within the next 6 months, how will things turn out? And when I say how will things turn out, it's always like, what is the most likely outcome? That's the way I normally frame it. And this is what came up. Interestingly, the key returned, but it's now in the 3rd position. But very differently, I have the coffin. And I thought, how interesting. When I first looked at these cards, I got this sense that it's saying something is going to go first, or something needs to go first. Something needs to be released before you can travel, or as a result of something finishing up, you will travel. And I still get that sense that that's going to be a successful trip, but it might be a sweet irony in that, you know, maybe things will look a little bit challenging and troublesome during this time of transformation, but that's the key to success with regards to this trip. See, this is where sometimes I can confuse myself with Lenormarch, because I feel like you can look at things so many ways. And I read on these wonderful sites like Learn Lenormarch, you know, they say there's so many different interpretations of the combination. And I want to make sure that I'm reading it correctly and not just telling myself what I want to hear. But that's the coffin doesn't scare me because it's very Scorpio and I am a Scorpio. And in my gut, I'll say that I felt this was saying, you know, transformational travel, because I do feel that even with the other cards that I drew earlier, that it is destined to occur, this trip. It may not turn out the way that I envisaged, or I may not end up going to all the destinations that I have in my head, but destiny is going to steer me where I need to go. That's the feeling that I get from it. I'm just curious to know what you think, because is it possible this could say there's an ending to the travel? It's, you know, let go of the travel. That's the key. Stop concerning yourself about going away and, you know, just be present kind of thing. But because I got these cards, I feel that it is the former explanation that I offered, that something has to go first, or something will be taken away, and out of that I'm free to move forward. And I still see it as being, you know, a wonderful spiritual, or, you know, something that's destined to happen. But if you disagree, I would be really, really grateful to hear your advice on that, because it's quite an important question to me. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Travel is medicine for me. It's not simply saying, yeah, I'm going to go to a resort and sit there and read a book. No, it's much more than that. Okay, I should leave it at that. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon. Have a wonderful day. Bye for now.